What's good, YouTube? I'm Tony T.
King Dababy.
Marius Morrison.
And you watching the best show on the internet? That's Debatable. Today, we have a special guest, my good brother from the Army, Paul. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
How y'all doing, man? I'm Paul. I was with him in the Army back in 2018?
Yeah, man.
Back.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for coming and joining us and whatnot. And we're going to get into these topics. With the recent removal of Dababy from pretty much every festival live performance in town, Van Lathan, the guy who used to work for TMZ and now is doing his own podcast called Higher Learning, and DJ Akademiks had some very differing comments regarding the cancellation of Dababy from all these live shows. DJ Akademiks went to Twitter and he said, "It's just weird how festivals are putting out these elaborate statements about how much they care about humanity, and because of that, they can't have Dababy on their show for what he said. Yet 90% of the artists they book, music is about drugs and murder, and it's totally fine with them." All right, so Van Lathan had this to say about it. Here's the hard truth. The festival doesn't have a soul. It's a corporate entity. That means it's cool with whatever the consumer is cool with. If we're singing along to the songs about misogyny, murder, and malice, then they figure it's cool to put it on stage. But when a community has standards about how they'll be spoken to or about, like the LGBTQ community does, then the festival or corporate entity listens. It affects their ability to book other artists down the line and makes them vulnerable to boycotts. If we wanted festivals to not book artists that profited in Black Death, we'd have to set a community standard on what we accept. We won't, because by and large, we like the music and understand the music. They will do what we do. Also, stop backflipping to excuse bad behavior. It just stunts growth. Now, after hearing those two perspectives, are you siding with Akademiks or are you siding with Van Lathan?
So in reality, I agree with Van Lathan because that's how it is right now. That's the companies do what we want, what we allow. You know what I'm saying? I hope you would want that the company to have a soul and agree with Akademiks. Like you said, you want the companies to have a standard, you know, for what they stand on, not to go and agree with the customer, because the customer's values are going to differ. You know what I'm saying? Want to be different all the time. It's never going to be a constant with the customer. All right, so I'm gonna agree with Van Lathan too, and like backing off what he previously just said. In the industry, they always said the customer is always right. So it's always going to be about what can bring the company more money. It's not necessarily about the soul, what they're going to stand on, what they think is right. If the population say, "Yo, this is cool," and they feel like, okay, well, I could profit off of this, then they're going to go off of that. If they have a standard set, then, basically majority of people something's not right. If the majority of the population says, "Yo, this is good," and you're not bringing that, then they're not going to make that money. But you got to understand that these are corporates, these are entities that actually just want to make money. That's all they're trying to stand on. So yeah, so I'm gonna agree with Van. That's the reality of it.
All right.
We want them to have it, but they're not gonna have that.
I kind of agree with both, honestly. I think the issue with setting the standard is that people have to understand that music is about self-expression. So where are you going to draw the line at? Are you going to book people who don't curse? Is it going to be like a gospel concert? I don't know where you draw the line at, but overall, I think that it's people who listen to the festivals, and why not give people what they want? It's just music. People enjoy this. Of course, we all know most companies don't have a soul, but they're not catering or acting like they have one. We know what they are. It's a festival just to listen to your artist, so don't make it deeper than what it is.
So yeah, both of them have valid points. However, I agree with Akademiks the most in this. Yes, there needs to be community standards if you don't enjoy people profiting on Black Death. However, I think it's very weird and hypocritical for a festival to get out here and say, yeah, we're against this because it's humanity, and yet this guy's whole catalog prior to that dealt with murder, right? You draw the line at sucking dick in the parking lot or murder, which is more reprehensible? Fellatio or murder, right? And then anybody who's actually feel like canceling him over this, and you sitting here and you enjoy the music, right? You can't sit here and put a line like, no, you can't say, like, if you can objectively say he's not talking about killing me, he's not talking about killing my friends or my family, if you can separate that, then you can separate that he's not talking about you when he's saying what he's.
Yeah, and in that aspect, that's why I agree with academics. You're saying you want it, like I said, you want it to be on. You're saying you want the company to have a standard. You want the organization to have their values set, and not be as fucking fluid as they are. In reality, it's just the company have to have a soul, and they need to have their standards.
They're gonna have their standards set, but like I said earlier, man, the reality of it, what's gonna bring them, what's gonna bring them their crowd, what's gonna bring them the consumers, what's gonna bring them that hype festival that they can host next year or the year after, what's gonna continue to keep growth in income in their pockets as well. But they, we want them to have those standards, but sometimes they're not gonna have those lines. It's gonna be a gray area all the time.
I was just going to say that in the end of the day, just don't go there. People who don't like what they're doing, say they don't have a soul, it's too easy not to be a consumer and actually invest your money in other avenues. But in the day, I mean, it's kind of hard not to be kind of like in the middle, because now it's a PC culture. Almost anything can get you canceled. So as a company, you're going to do whatever it takes to make money.
So again, yeah, I have to agree with academics. Another thing that Van Lathan said was that it's backflipping to excuse bad behavior. You're excusing bad behavior by saying that it's okay for these festivals to profit off of a Black death, and to say that fellatio is more damning than murder. That just blows my mind. The guy literally has bars about killing the ops or whatever the case may be, but he makes a comment about not publicly sucking dick, and you draw the line right there. That just doesn't make sense.
You so right. I don't have nothing else to say. Like that's so fucking right. I have nothing else to say.
On point, join the line where you just gotta know where to draw the line, and then like you said from the previous comment, just basically if you don't want to hear that, just don't go there. But you gotta understand the company's gonna do what they need to do.
In the day, companies are going to do what they're going to do. That's how they make money. In the day, just don't go there. Kind of like McDonald's. If you're talking about the food is trash, stop going there 3 times a day.
I just feel like if you support these companies canceling this man, right, for comments about oral sex versus the other comments where he talks about murdering people in Walmart, you should really question yourself and your own morality.
That's like a clip note. That was like a
good bar.
Yeah, he dropped that shit.
Bar, like,
Hold on.
It's like drop the mic.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the camera thing. Y'all got something else you want to say on this one?
Nah. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Hey man, Kanye pushed his album back again. I'm about to.
I ain't gonna lie.
Thanks for watching this clip of That's Debatable. I'm Tony T. Be sure to give this video a like and comment your views down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you felt about the video. But if you really want to support the channel, give this video a like and watch more clips by selecting the video to the left and to the right of me here.